to unload all of this. I'm going to start, but my dog, before I adopted him, Brahma bowled me and fucked my arm up, knocked me up in the air, actually knocked me unconscious, and then I relapsed. From the pain from that, I relapsed and took some fentanyl, and then I fell down and hurt my arm again. So for like a year and a half, I couldn't even like put my arm in my pocket or undo my seatbelt. It hurt so fucking bad. For like a year and a half, I didn't bench press at all. But I don't know, this video is about, I'm starting to really see, and I'm pretty cognizant of not trying to sound like a fucking crazy person. I'm really seeing numbers a lot, and I'm not like saying angel numbers or God's numbers or whatever, but I do feel like God is showing me this pattern over and over of certain numbers. And I'll just tell you what they are. The first one that I used to see a lot was 555. And right now I'm seeing 243, which is my address where I'm from, upstate New York. And then 716, which was the area code. And I don't mean like I'm seeing it every month. I'm seeing it like once a day. Like my receipt at the store, the change would say $7.16, or they would ring something up and it would say $2.43. That has happened probably for the last 3 months, way beyond anything that I would ever. And I try to focus in on the math and the ratios and the possibilities and the probabilities and the percentage of this being that, It is just highly fucking unlikely that those numbers would come up as much as they do. You know what I mean? So I'm not a numbers person. I'm not a, oh, these are my secret angel numbers. I don't believe in any of that shit. I think that's witchcraft in disguise. I just feel like God is trying to tell me something, and he's always used, not always, but he's used numbers since I've gotten sober to kind of communicate stuff with me. Some things will add up to like 15, like when it's, I don't know, it's hard to describe. But I'm making this video because I'm really getting tired. I'm really getting tired of like fake people and fake sober people. Like, I'll hear somebody say, oh, I'm going to be so-and-so. This guy at the gym was talking about being somebody's sponsor and da-da-da. And I just said to him, like, all things, like, I'm not trying to be cringy or be that fucking dude, but, like, I'm not going to be lukewarm about shit, you know? And I said, well, how can you be somebody's sponsor? He goes, what do you mean? And I go, well, you give a girl Percocets to fuck you. So you're paying somebody in drugs and catering to their addiction and feeding their addiction. How could you be somebody else's sponsor when you're living life in that kind of, even if you were paying a prostitute or a sex worker, you're still fucking proactively helping somebody destroy themselves. So I said, well, what? You know, I'm just saying, it'd be like an FBI agent, you know, telling the people before they raid them, hey man, just letting you know, we're gonna, it's like, it's being lukewarm and just being retarded. You know, there's just a lot of fake fucking people, you know, or just they're, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like people that I'll see, like, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll be like, even at work or whatever, a dude will be like, oh yeah, I'm so, like, bro, how the fuck can you say you're sober when I've seen you fucked up here at work? Like, staring in the mirror, like putting on a fucking bandana, like for fucking 20 minutes. And then he'll be like, no man, I've been sober now for, I'll be like, sober what? Like California sober? Because, you know, and nobody wants to ever, you know, nobody ever wants to say anything, you know? Nobody ever wants to say, like, bro, what are you what were you doing yesterday? Or, like, you shouldn't be using equipment or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants, no, just wait till somebody gets killed, I guess, nobody wants to have that foot. No one wants to, it's like people are so afraid of confrontation, I was watching, we were talking about Jodi Arias at the gym, that bitch that brutally murdered her boyfriend, and I said, the problem, and then we were talking about Lorena Bobbitt and John Bobbitt, the guy that got his dick cut off. I said the problem with that is that girl was probably fucking, there were telltale signs way before in advance that this bitch was crazy. You know what I mean? Like, Lorena Bobbitt just didn't cut that dude's dick off and then blame it on abuse. You know what I mean? She was fucking nuts. One, she's an Hispanic woman, so she's already a little crazy. Two, she's a woman, so she's already a little crazy. But then there's that extra crazy that's not, computed into, all of that. And he had to know that she was crazy, but he fucking liked fucking her. And she probably was fun in bed. But it cost you your dick being thrown into a 7-Eleven parking lot. I don't know about you, but, I loved my girlfriend at the time, and we had a great sex life. But it wasn't worth thinking that, one, she'd kill me. Two, she'd get me arrested at the very least. Three, she'd fucking whatever the fuck. So you gotta break up with them before you get killed or go to jail. Jodi Arias, that girl was a fucking psycho. But that Travis dude, she probably was letting him do things that other Mormon girls weren't fucking allowing him to do, And a lot of Mormon girls, I don't know if people know this, I'll call it, instead of California sober, I'll call this California virgin. A lot of them, will say that they're saving their Xbox for their husband, but you're free to use their Nintendo, if you know what I'm talking about. And that's their way of rationalizing it. Well, in the Bible, that is an abomination. And that's another thing about Mormons that I don't understand. Like, what in the Book of Mormon did you guys, what would God need? Like, God and Jesus have never showed up anywhere at the same time. But you're telling me that he showed up to this loser in upstate New York with golden things. God and Jesus have never showed up anywhere, but they picked you out of a hat, showed up there, and what did it add to the Bible that was missing? What is so profound about the Book of Mormon? Nothing. Okay? Nothing. And I'm pretty sure that's where the term the Watchers has come from. I remember reading the Book of Mormon a couple times, actually. I'm not all the way through the last time, but I'm pretty sure the Watchers is from the Book of Mormon and the Book of Enoch. And I'm not going to get into how all that's bullshit, because it is. The fake lost books of the Bible aren't lost and aren't legit. But I don't know, man. I'm just tired of people being fucking fake with me. You know what I mean? Like, no one ever wants, like, there's just people that I just want to connect with sometimes. And there's this kernel of bullshit that they have to propagate to, like, because we lie to ourselves when we're addicts. We lie and lie and lie and lie, and it's easy to lie when you feel that opiate rush, or that alcohol with opiates, or that alcohol alone, or with that crack, or whatever, that messed up fucking feeling. And it's easy to just keep pushing that shit away and just lie and lie and lie. And we lie to ourselves when we use drugs. That's what we're doing first and foremost. We're lying to ourselves. So it's just frustrating to me, because I have been sober, okay? No weed, no Tylenol with codeine, no fentanyl, no this, no pussy, other than coffee and kratom and working out I'm not using, oh, caffeine's a drug. Okay, I'm sure. Kratom, I don't consider a drug. It's a fucking plant. I don't consider weed a drug, and I don't consider mushrooms a drug either, which I haven't done mushrooms in a while either. I just get extremely frustrated with the lack of realness in today's people, you know? Like it's just, I just find myself finding solace more in my cats and just, I don't know, man, it's just so hard for people to be truthful, like I just don't understand. Like people don't want to be truthful. And that's the thing, like this guy had an electric bike at my gym. I said, what happened to the bike, bro? He said, oh, I sold it for crack. And I said, that is why you've got 4 months sober, because you're fucking brutally honest about this shit. I'm brutally honest, I'm transparent, not because I want to have some kind of like whatever. This is my therapy, Therapy changed my life. Prayer changed my life. First and foremost, God changed my life. God knows your heart. God knows the sincerity level of your heart. So you're not going to come to God and go, well, and you can give them real sincere bullshit, like, but it's like people that don't pray ask you to pray for them. And I'm like, well, how often do you pray? And just, oh, I don't. Well, you don't even believe enough to get a miracle that you think that somebody else is, well, I don't know. Well, you don't have a relationship with God. You know what I mean? Get one. Mormons, Jehovah's Witness, what? Scientology, all that is Freud, mixed in with sci-fi. It's just people are just so easily deceived that they believe a lie. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's a reason why there's a symbol of a cross that has not, it's not like, it's something that from the beginning has stayed here, and there's a reason why that symbol will not die. And it's because, what it says in the Bible, God sent his only son. So you need to do what I've done, repent, ask for forgiveness. I can't tell you how many times I've repented of stuff that I've done, like stealing pills from somebody's house. Hundreds of people I've stole pills from. I feel like such a piece of shit for doing that sincerely. Like, it fucking still bothers me 6 years later, where I'll just be like riding my bike or getting a good workout, and I'll be like, man, remember when you looked at that lady right in her face and had a handful of her pills in your pocket, and then went to her other bathroom and grabbed aspirin and put those back, and remember that? And you were acting like, like you are such a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, you are such a fucking piece of shit that you even did that. That's true repentance, that the shit still bothers you. Yeah, I've been forgiven about it, and I've taken ownership of it, and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But I ask God for forgiveness for that. And, the thing I struggle with the most is praying for other people that I don't really like. You know what I mean? Like, that's something, I'll be honest with you, that I have not been able to completely cross over yet.